Hello, and welcome back to the 11th hour with my friend Paul Knight, where we just talk a bunch of shit for around an hour or maybe longer. Who knows? But how are you doing, brother? How are things?
I'm not doing too bad. I was gonna go like instead of pretend, but I know I'm not fucking weird head anymore. In case it does go, because this Zoom's not been working that good for us. But yeah, I'm not too bad. I've been banging a few videos out as lately, and I just can't wait for this exciting chat because we always come up and chat about anything, and the time flies. So hopefully people enjoy the informal nature of this, which a lot of people have reached out and said they do.
Yeah, super laid back conversations, and it's always an honor and a privilege to speak with you, brother. Yeah, your new video on Miru, super solid information, which we were talking the entire time that you were making it. So I already knew what it was going to be about. So I had the scoop before anybody else had the scoop before they even
You
watched
did.
it. But yeah, that was really interesting, especially the correlation, between BlackRock and Carbon and 666. Give people a little refresher on that, but not too long though. I'm just joking.
Right, let me get the. If you had a chess on them chess clocks, I could click it and we could click it back and we could get it like that. But what it is a lot of people talk about Mount Meru in the community, as I call it, and there's so many rumors. I mean, in certain faiths, it's the center of the universe, both spiritual and metaphysical, etc. And it's supposed to be in us. That's what the faiths believe. In other aspects of the community, they believe it's the center of this realm and it's a magnetic mountain, hence because that's what Makata said. And it was funny, I was making a video a few weeks ago and I was noticing a pattern because I just see things differently. And I noticed that a certain shape, and we'll get into it a bit more, a certain shape from something significant matched like the same layout of the rivers in a sense, and the actually atom in the middle, both all combined. And I thought, does it fit? So obviously I went away, had a little magic like, and it fit. And then I got about to think about it, looking at the topic itself. Mount Meru, some people believe it's black. A famous black rock is that company, as well as magnetite, obviously, but carbon. And then, well, I've got the thing here, the carbon man being 666, 6 protons, etc. And it fits. And it just seemed to all fit that we're told that we're not the center of the universe. Yet, from this aspect, could it be a map showing us where we came from? And that's where I just ran with it in a quick short video.
Yeah, there was this gentleman that I was on his show yesterday. His name's Christian. He does it was the second time that I was on his show. It's called like Connecting Minds podcast, and we were talking about it, and I gave you a shout out in that video. He talked about how maybe Mount Meru is like a location where like our souls are like kept, where our like consciousness is at Mount Meru, and then we're outside of Mount Meru living in our avatars. And you know what I mean? Like it was a
Yeah.
really interesting concept. And I was like, wow, that's a crazy correlation, because I was like, hey, my friend Paul Knight just did a whole video talking about Mount Meru. So I thought that was pretty interesting how we could like all be like safe somewhere, and then
Yeah.
like our bodies are just out experiencing this 3D physical reality. I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but well, we are but ships in the night, you know what I mean? And we talk about maritime law and the things I didn't put in because I just wanted to be short and sweet. I mean, you're talking 4 or 5 years ago, I made a meme showing Bermuda Triangle. So you have to picture. Can I write on a bit of paper for while we're talking? So a few years ago, I did a meme and I've got it somewhere. It's been on me thing, and I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to put Mount Meru at the center and the Bermuda Triangle, and opposite the alter ego of the Bermuda Triangle is like the Devil's Triangle, the Dragon Triangle in Japan and China, and it came up with like that shape, the three triangles in a line going through. and it does remind you of the Orion's belt as well as also. But from that point, I've always had a fascination with how we get into this realm. Obviously, I talk about Janos a lot. I mean, I didn't even mention that another reference to another liminal god is Cardia, who's linked to, you know, cardiac arrest and so on and so on. But she's also known as the center. So, you know what I mean? That's another aspect of the center being Mount Meru. And it's also got 4 points, hasn't it? It had 4 rivers. So that's a link with cardinal directions also. So we just don't know. But I just like theorizing this shit. I'm like asking questions. Is this all right? What's this like? What's this like to add? Because what I'm tired of, and I don't know if family and listeners and you are, I'm sick and goddamn tired of people in the community telling you, no, you're not allowed to think this way. You're not allowed to change from Meru's this is this, it's this. And if you stray away from this, these correlations, these ideas, you're a shill or you're a gatekeeper. It's highly disrespectful for everyone because we see this realm so differently because of all the different ships. You know what I mean? There's only so much cargo you can get on a ship, and sometimes you can key and store. You know, you can visit other friends on other ships, but we're unique. We see the world so much differently. We'll share a common stretch of ocean and say, you know what I mean, when we're looking at theories, but why do we have to? I mean, I'm just it's getting to that extent where you just, what's the point doing anything anymore? And we have to get away from it. I'm sick and tired of people stupidly commenting. It's like, really? It's just getting a joke. We have to get away from this. What's worse, I'd rather have someone completely trolling me than someone saying, oh, well, good video that, Paul, but you're a piece of shit, or, you know, it's that but, and then they slag you off. Just don't comment. I'd rather have someone who's trolling you than to someone giving you a little shady backhand comments like that. It's just, this community is just going down free fall, and we're trying our best to have a bit of integrity. Yeah, you might not like what we do, but we still have an integrity. We're still trying to do it the right way, showing people duty of care, a bit of respect all around. It doesn't get passed back. So this is what I've always done. I've always liked to look at topics. Right, this is what the community say it is. What can I see any different? And when I see something different, I'll say, guys, I see this differently, only from the information provided. I don't state it's a fact, and I don't state it to be, you know, all heaven's knowledge and that's it, right, guys, pack it all in, this is it. It's not. It just gets, you know, why can't we just go back to really enjoying and having a laugh and learning some shit along the way?
Yeah, like I ran into this when I did a video with Wayne Steiger, and I was talking about the word America, right? And I looked up the, you know, word America, and I was like, okay, well, you know, where does this word derive from other than Amerigo? What's his name? Amerigo Vespucci?
Vespucci.
Vespucci. Oh, it's Vespucci. It gets me is a Vespucci. But and everyone already knows that America derives from Vespucci. But I was, you know, trying to dig farther back into it, and that's where my whole idea of a Meru and all this came up, and I put together a little thing, and then I posted a video, and like everyone just like blasted me with comments over and you're wrong, bro. You're wrong. That's not where America comes from. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like posting the links. I'm like, yo, like look up the word Amaru, Amaru. You know, it's an Incan word, and it's means a double-headed serpent that dwells underground. And it's, you know, believed to be, you know, capable of transcending boundaries to and from the spiritual realm of some subterranean layer.
Your perspective.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, you're wrong, bro. No, you're not right. You're wrong. It's not where it came from. That's not what America means." I'm like, dude, like just research it, just put it into your computer, and you'll see that everything that I stated is right. It might not actually be where America got its name, which everybody knows. It's just a different perspective, and
Yeah.
look up the Native American origin of it. It means serpent and symbolized the fertilization of earth, right?
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
mean, you've
what
got
is,
names for America that so many names. You've got Vinland. That's the old Viking fabled name for the Americas, Vinland. And years ago, like in the medieval time, a part of England used to be called Mercia. And, people do jokingly call America Mercia, America, in their accents. And it's like, these are all very similar. Doesn't mean it's right. It's just another opinion to throw on the pile. And that's what I just don't get. It's like we're not allowed to have new, fresh ideas. Do you know what I mean? It's something someone could have had the same idea you're thinking about years ago. It doesn't matter. It's just you're on your own journey. You found that comment, you found that research then, and for that to mean to you. It's like when I was doing the video for Maru, was talking with a friend, and she was the one who said to me, if you rearrange it, Maru spells, you are me.
yeah,
To emphasize on the fact that you are, or you could have came, not necessarily us, but a race of humans from Maru. I mean, years ago, I always do stuff like this. I just love it. I mean, 4 years ago, I was talking about how because people believe in that there's reptilians and different types of humans. I mean, how egotistical it is for us to believe we're the only species in this realm. You know what I mean? There's people who believe we come from God or creator. Some people believe we were made, engineered by Sumerians, etc., etc. Some people believe we came from here. You know what I mean? So there's so many theories out there to what we are. But I just think, right, it's funny how north, east, south, and west, and I put N as Nephilim, meaning from Mount Meru. From the north, Mount Meru, you had Nephilim, then you had like Homo sapien, then you had reptilian. You know what I mean? So all these things are just things. It's just information. We like to crack stuff off. It's like when you're out with your friends, or you're at a barbecue, or you're in the pub or whatever bar, and you're just coming out with so much shit together. Like, what do you think of this, guys? Well, yeah, but what about that, and what about this? We're just doing it on social media, and people seem to think that you have to accept what they say it is and what the accredited thing is. But who's got the road book? Show me a book where it states, right, Meru has to be this, or it has to be the shape of realm, or it has to be this, and you have to tick it off and you have to stick to it. God, I contradict myself so many times in the video because I learn more as I'm researching, as I'm going. Also, it's just a mad world. And if we say anything, we're moaning, whinging bastards. Yeah, no, we're not. We're just voicing our opinion. It's our platform. So, where do we say? Do we not say anything when people ask questions? I'm just, I'm so tired of it. It's like I did a video today on the research, for spell etymology on the
oh,
word
you already
extraterrestrial.
released it? I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah,
Would you do
I
it?
released it before. It's only like 15 minutes, and people saying, because I say at the end of my video, stay safe. People are complaining it's cringeworthy. I'm like, for fuck's sake, am I not allowed to say anything on my own channel? I mean, what am I supposed to do? Do this, right, guys? And someone will complain I'm doing that. I've had a week of it, and as I said, for anyone who's watching, I've had to take away the moderators on my channel because people will get blocked. I've unblocked now up to 90 names, 90 of names I have not blocked, and not one person has told me why these people were blocked. Now, all this, I believe, has been made to. It's done on purpose. I'm not into it. If someone had said to me, I blocked him, I said, listen, don't do it. I don't like people blocked. Carry on. Nothing but about that's it. Do you know what I mean? What offended me is, and what's disrespecting me is, like, for you, people have not reached out or said to me, Paul, I've done this, and you move on. I don't hold no ego. I don't forget, but I don't hold anything back. I just don't forget what people have done, and I've been made to feel like a criminal on my own channel. It's just crazy. I've made what decision I thought was best, and I just don't get people nothing as fickle as people. You know, I try and run a channel like you. Everyone has a channel, or if you know, whatever, and you try and run it in the best way you can. And I just don't get truthers, and it's just making me more like want to like wish I never even started making content or not making any comments on it and just putting the videos out. You know what I mean? It's just getting pathetic, and that's like what we were talking at the beginning.
That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm just going to start heart reacting, like even the trolls and even the people that
that's what I do,
the crappy comments, and then I'm going to put like hug emojis. See, I had someone the other day on one of my posts that was that I was on someone else's show, and I was talking about the fake 20 and back super soldier program on that show, and someone commented "F you," like not like spelling out the word, but the letter F and then the letter U. And then I just sent them 3 hug emojis. You know, I mean, I think that you know, pisses them off more than anything because they want to get a reaction out of you, right? They want to get you.
And it's like you spot on. It's like, but I'm not reacting in the sense of I'm angry. I'm just like, that can't be asked. You know what I mean? It's like you like can't comprehend these people us in the community are supposed to know better. Do you know what I mean? And that's I've like I said, you've heard me say it many times, haven't you? I just can't get my head around how people react and do things on social media. It's just flabbergasting. It's like we're just doing all their work for them. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. But yeah, I just did on extraterrestrial and I thought it was fascinating because obviously, you know, you've interviewed a lot of people who've been abducted and so on and so on. Before you watch it, I basically correlated and people believe there's more land, you know what I mean, outside of an ice wall. And I broke it down in like 5 ways. And it's like, wow, it's like extraterrestrial, yep, EX. Everyone has a lot of them. But it also means out of or one that held a specific place or position. So if you make that into a land, you're talking about something has a best specified place. Then you go to TRA from extra. So you got EX and then TRA, and that means amid, in the middle, or amongst. And we're talking about Mount Rubin in the center. And then it's crazy. And TER means 3, right? Atlantis is supposed to have 3 rings in it, 3 islands or 3 canals. That was fascinating. But TER also means across or beyond. People are talking about land over the ice wall. And then Terra obviously means land or earth, but it also means dry. And then you had rest, which means remain to stand. And obviously the STRI at the end means to spread or to cover. And then obviously the AL is something godly or divine. So I'm thinking, God, does that not more sound like this advanced culture that people are talking about, more land, could actually be, in fact, be underwater? Because we've not explored the oceans, they say. So think about it, before the Great Flood, people call them Adamites. You might have seen them, but I call them precursors. I've showed you the etymology. It says, you know, precursor. But if you break that word down, precurse. So they were there before the curse, which was the Great Flood. And if these advanced civilizations were on land and they got covered and they had the text to stay where they are, they would be under the oceans. You've got films like The Abyss. You've got Atlantis in Aquaman. You've got Wakanda Forever, another civilization under the sea. You've got the 80s, 90s series Sequest DSV, which was like a deep, you know, submersible vehicles. Then, if you remember William Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse, he talks about being on a ship or a submarine and watching ships flying out the water. So, in fact, could all these extraterrestrials actually just mean people that lived on dry land before the pre-curse?
Makes sense, and that's a really good place to hide too, underwater.
Yeah.
It'd be very difficult for anyone to find you. They would assume that you would be on land. But if you're underwater, you could, you know, cloak who you are, what you are, and what's going on under there.
Exactly.
Which might be a reason why they're shooting rockets into the ocean, right? And why they're doing all this stuff in the ocean. I mean, whenever we think of the word space, like our we've had this programming about space, and whenever people, NASA or any of these other, the Air Force or any of the military say space, they don't ever say outer space. They just say space. And then people
Yeah.
take it to mean that they're talking about outer space. When space can be anything, dude. Space could be extra space in your house. Space could be the ocean. Space could be your backyard,
Yeah.
or space could be extra space inside of your head as well, inner space.
Definitely. I've got a lot of space in there. Well, it's true. It's like you say to someone, what's the biggest mountain in this realm? And they always go Everest, but it's not. The biggest mountain in this realm is underwater. That's one of those weird, truth but facts. I forgot its name, you know what I mean? But people can search it. Biggest mountain is actually underwater. So that gets the intrigue. And like I said, I'm not saying it's a fact or the truth. I'm just fascinated with the wordplay of that word. Could mean, yes, more land. People believe in that terra infinita, which is more land and loads and loads of land. But what if it's underwater? You know what I mean? It's like when we do these videos, why do all these people on these channels ignore the two Yanis Islands? Because they always say, oh, there's more land, and they get to it by having portals and gateways, and that's why they've got the Antarctic Treaty. But what about the Janis Islands, named after a doorway? They never mention it.
No.
It's like they're scared to because of how I was ridiculed over it.
Isn't the Earth is mostly made up of water? What's the percentage rate of water versus land on the Earth? According to what they say, of course, I think it's like 85% of the Earth, or somewhere really high up there.
I remember. Sorry to interrupt you, Ryder. I'm not really. I'm only joking, but yeah. But yeah, if I remember, it's called the abyssal plains, and that's like the flattest part of the Earth, and that's like 50% of the ocean bed. I think it's about 70%. It might be wrong, but yeah, we're more water than we are land. If you go off like I said, we can only base it off what we know. So we could have gateways, portals. It could be a hollow earth, for instance. Like Godzilla and all that stuff. They came from that all these films and TVs. They're always giving you ideas. It's an idea. It's not fact. There's no way of proving it. We can just go off what information we find and mix it together, patch it together to come up with something. So if there's so much water, and I was talking about this in the video, when we're looking back in time and we're looking at Stargate SG-1, there's an episode when Daniel got kidnapped and he got held underneath the water by an ancient god called Oans, whose name is, Janos. And he was one of the sea peoples, right? So if we're talking about Oans, you talk about Dagon, the same names, and they come out, they look like they got like fish suits on. They helped people, to make the civilizations better. They came out the water. So we're always talking about these people who came out the water to help, like a Lucifer scenario, because obviously Lucifer is tied to Prometheus, which is tied to Janos, and they were like light bearers and information bringers and technology. Prometheus got punished for it. So these are the things that we've got to ask. History is just one big script, one big play. And it's been just hashed together with so many different writers. So it's just intriguing. Is there more land? Could be. Round an ice wall? Could be. Or it could be underwater. The entrances could be underwater. These civilizations could be underwater. Why are we not investigating the ocean's floor? Can we not do it because of the tech? Or is it we're not allowed to?
Is the Dagon that you were mentioning, is that that's the fish god, right?
Yeah, like Oans, yeah.
Is that the same? Because when you look at
it's
really interesting within Christianity, you have the Jesus fish, then you have the Pope's hat that is almost in the shape of a fish. So you have a lot of
the fish mitre.
Yeah, all the fish symbolism throughout.
And even you just reminded me, the video that I did on Mount Meru showing you that thing with the carbon, that fish will actually fit because it goes like that, doesn't it? It goes like that, and then the other end it goes like this. So you could actually take that apart and it would fit in there also. That's what I was looking at, but I just wanted to keep it, straight to the point. And who knows where I might go from here with that idea of this. But people talk about Atlantis. There is the South American Atlan, which sounds very similar. You have the Festival of the Dead in Rome called Lemuria, which Lemuria was supposedly the bigger brother to Atlantis. So all these things fit. And it's just been borrowed to explain shit that's gone on in this realm. Like us, there's always been people like us and people listening at home. There's always been people to theorize, theology and stuff, or what if the world is this? And then someone's come along and said, right, that's fact. Boom, in the fact book.
But you're wrong, Paul. Your theories and your thoughts and your ideas and your beliefs are wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
I mean, theories can't be wrong, right? I mean, theology can't be wrong. Like, it's just your thoughts and your ideas, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't really
exactly
understand it. That's the whole point of, theology and what's the other word that I'm looking for here? Philosophy. That's the other thing about philosophy. Nothing in philosophy can be wrong, right? It's just your own theories and your thoughts, put together to make some kind of statement or some kind of argument. No one's wrong in philosophy. Now you have not good answers that people don't agree with, or subpar conclusions, right? But nothing about philosophy or theology is wrong. And I think that's where people are getting confused with a lot of stuff. That's why, like, when I'm talking about philosophy and theology, like, I try and state in the beginning of the video, like, if I'm conversating with somebody on my channel, I'm like, yeah, I'm really excited to speak about theology and philosophy with you here today. So then that gives a precedent for the rest of the interview, right? Because if you don't, then it's like, people are going to take what you're saying as fact, and a lot of people don't.
And did you notice how you just say philosophy and theology, but in my intro and our intro was, yeah, we're just talking shit. So you know what I mean? We're just talking shit. So you know what I mean? It's a good job, I don't mind.
I love it. Well, I consider
good shit though.
Yeah, I appreciate you a lot, brother, and you're a really good friend.
It is a good shit. But yeah, it's just fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get a lot of grief, and I've noticed with a lot of people now are getting grief more and more and more. It's like you're trying to be run out. I mean, I'm not going to run out anyway. I'm not going to leave. I mean, I might stop doing premieres. Like I said, time is precious to us all. We've always got something better to do. You know what I mean? You got some free time, and you like doing this, but sometimes you do need a rest. I've got things to do at home and look after, and it's like, I'm trying to share a bit of me with you, people listening, and you get slated for it. It's like, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't wear the color orange, you can't scratch your nose, you can't touch your eye. It's like, for God's sake, just put a bag over your head. It is getting to a ridiculous stage, and this is what we've got to get. We've got to know. We've got to relearn, right? Like searching. We're like searching for clues, aren't we? It's like that post I made the other day. We're searching for clues on what's going on in his existence. Well, searching anagram is research. So we are searching and researching at the same time for answers to ourselves, to what is going on in this realm, to day-to-day living, and we're all trying to get through the day, don't we? We're all trying to get through the day. What's wrong with having it with a smile? For fuck's sake, the life is such arsing bad out there, yet we start on each other. It's like we're not happy to be controlled by the zookeepers, that we bring it into this so-called community where we then pick on each other and ridicule each other for having a different theory.
What is truth in your opinion, Paul? What is truth? What does truth mean?
Well, I've got one of the biggest ideas on the word truth. I believe the truth is a conspiracy. It is the truth has been put here to, what's the word, to divide us, because people think when you say truth, it's a fact. But it's not. You can go and search engine. Truth doesn't mean fact, and a fact does not mean truth. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe. It's been weaponized. Oh, we're in the truth community, and if we say this realm is that shape, that is the truth. I'm a truther. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like trying to use certain labels. Some labels we just say it because it's the easiest thing to say. Well, we're making a video. It's like if I say I, and next bit, oh, you use the word I. Do you know what I mean? It's getting beyond. So the truth to me is how we live out in ourselves in this realm. What feels right to you? What I perceive this world to be. We're on a path. We're on a, you know, that's why they call us vessels. So we're all sailing the seven seas. It used to be seven seas. I guess probably what it's up to now. But we're sailing these seas, the current sea. And, you know, that's why it's tied into maritime law. But the truth is personal. And people always look at me and don't get it. And I've had people actually call me troll and chills for saying this. Well, look at the word spell. If everything is a spell, that's why they call it spelling. The truth has you right in the middle of it, because it's how you see it. So if you believe this to be true, some people will go to war or harm other people. And we've seen evidence of this. You are calling my God. You are calling my God. You're calling my God. Right. And we're doing the work for them. We're digging the rut, the hole to trap us ourselves. Another word that's in truth, rut. You are digging it yourself. And that's why people are so trapped in it. All the clues are there. And we just keep constantly ignoring it, following. Oh, well, he's got so many subs. He's got to be right. Oh, well, he says that channel is shit and you can't talk to them anymore because I've said it. What happened to you being your own personal judge and saying, listen, I can talk to anyone. It's not a schoolyard. If they say I can't talk to them, they've always been good with me. Why have I got to stop? It's all about control. Controlling you, controlling the narrative. And we're doing it for them. And the truth has been used as a weapon. Just as religion is. And that's not disrespecting religion before anyone gets on the snowflake pipe. It's truth. Religion has been weaponized like the truth. You can believe in anything, but as soon as you go away from, you know, for instance, thou shalt not kill, one of the fundamental laws, yet people are going out murdering and then the next minute preaching to God.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference here between truth, belief, and facts. I think that truth is an amalgamation of people's experiences here in this 3D physical reality. Belief is something that we've heard somebody else say or that we've read, and we believe in it. And then facts is an evidence-based thing. In order for something to be a fact, there has to be proof and evidence of that fact. And people have gotten these three terms really confused. They've taken truth as belief, belief as fact, fact as truth, and it's gotten all mixed up and like muddied the waters, and they're really, really hard. And I was talking to David Whitehead about this the other day, and I'm like, I really think that belief has overruled facts. Belief has overruled truth, right? And it's become a really big issue for us in the world, right? You know, people just put out a thought, put out an idea, and then people believe it. I mean, just because something's written down, Paul, doesn't mean that it's fact, right? It's just one person's interpretation of events. How many other people existed back whenever that manuscript, that book, that scroll was written? You're just getting one person's interpretation of what they experienced. We're getting their perception. What about the hundreds and thousands of other people's perception and their ideas of what's going on?
And you're right. That's what I say constantly. Think about now, you're talking about a guy or a lady, not them, not it, a he or a she, And then you scared of saying that. But think about it. You are a monk or whatever, and you're there back in the day, and you got your scroll parchment out, and you're writing some information down as to be taken as fact. I mean, you're off your nuts on drugs or hallucinants or alcohol or whatever, and you're just writing any good old shit down. Or are you told what to write by someone standing above you? Are them being stood over and been told what to write? Or also, in ancient times, according to some people, we had a bicameral mind. We had God in our heads telling us what to do, and we all live by that according to other research. So is this the bicameral mind writing the history down, telling him what to write? So you're in a situation there. Who's doing what?
Well, not only that, do we think that they weren't writing any sorts of fiction back then too? I mean, look at all the fiction and stories that we get today in our current civilization. You think that they weren't writing any of that stuff way back then? You think just because it was an older civilization that they were writing nothing but facts? It amazes me, right? If you were to just give all of the fiction, all the fiction writings, all of the fiction movies, and you gave it to people, let's say 600 years in the future, just the fiction, right? They would probably take that as fact and think that it actually happened because they don't know any better. They weren't here when it happened. So if you gave them, let's say, the Hunger Games books, they would think that that was real if you didn't give them anything else.
Yeah, no context. You just give them the book. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to have an authority figure, a librarian of sorts, telling you, oh, this is in fiction, put it in the fiction section. But how many times have you heard in the community, oh, this is fiction, rather, it's more like truth? You know, I mean, see, that's what in it. It's like the Dewey, the system, numeral system that you use in libraries. It's like whatever these books are put, they could have been just mislabeled. Who do we know is what? You know, that's why I said we've always had people theorizing and making shit up. Back in the day, there was a YouTube, it was just a fucking piece of brick or whatever, and saying, well, fucking Ryder Lee, he's just said that, the bastard. It's not Stairway to Heaven. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And that What the Flock TV, he just said, stay safe. Oh my God, we're not allowed to use that. You know what I mean? So we just don't know what has gone on. You know what I mean? It's only what we can go on is what we've seen, and then that can be manipulated. But it's like when I said to you a few weeks back, I saw the frozen plane. I was laughing when people were saying, I'm not laughing like you're idiots. It's like, I can't believe that's taking it a stretch. And I saw it with witnesses, not just on my own. You know what I mean? So things change. This reality is so far from what we deem it to be. It's just a realm of magic, but also it's controlled by scrupulous people for their own agendas. And we just don't know what, supposedly we have to go off our intuition, what feels right and wrong. But I'm going to ask you this, and people at home, can your intuition be right or wrong in the sense of, what is there something guiding it? For instance, I believe I'm morally and I've got integrity. But when what happens if the intuition said, Paul, that person's gonna kill, you have to kill that person, or is that voices in the head, or you know what I mean? What is to say what is truth, fact, lies, what's right, what's wrong? I know they call it a moral compass, but do we not learn by being exposed to it? Did your parents say, don't do that, Ryder, don't do this, Paul, that is wrong? What if that was actually wrong that they were saying, and how we're brought up? Does that guide us? You know what I mean?
I think it does.
You know what I mean? It's just an intriguing question. Is our moral compasses being hijacked to a degree because things are taken out of context? How many times have we seen it on YouTube, social media, Twitter, like people fighting, and you're like, oh my God, they shouldn't be fighting like that, and he took it too far. But you didn't see the context of him just killing someone, or or he ran him out, So it's always more to it. So I just don't know about intuition. I go off my intuition a lot. I'm assuming you do, but can it be corrupted?
I think so. And I think that you're spot on with saying that our environment and how we're raised basically cultivates our personality and gives us our morals. I mean, that's really what it's all dependent upon. But that doesn't mean that just because you're raised and born in a shitty area or the ghetto or whatever that we call it in the United States is the ghetto, doesn't mean that you don't get to have a good life. Like you can like change that around and turn that around. And then it also doesn't mean that if you're born into a wealthy family, a rich family, that you're not going to have hardships either, that you can't fall to the bottom of the totem pole just as easy. Right. But the circumstances and the thoughts and ideas that we're given whenever we're young tend to really stick with us and shape and mold our personal experience and our personal reality within this existence. And that's what people really need to, realize. I'm different than you, Paul, because I was born in the United States. You're born in the UK. You've had a different upbringing. Your surroundings are different. I had a different upbringing. My surroundings, everyone that's watching this right now or listening to this right now has had a different experience of their life. So therefore, if truth is experience of life and that's your personal truth, then obviously your thoughts and your ideas and your beliefs are going to be different. That's just the fact of reality. That's just how it works. It doesn't mean that you need to agree or disagree with what anybody says. Right? Like I have my own personal thoughts and ideas. That doesn't mean that I'm going to comment on every single person's post or every single person's YouTube video that I disagree with. I actually don't comment hardly on anything at all. I just let them be. I don't comment on anyone's videos. I don't comment on anyone's Facebook post. Probably in the last week is the most that I've ever commented on anyone's Facebook post in the past 3 years, which was your post this morning and my friend's post yesterday. It just does not matter to me because I realize that everybody they've been raised, they've been, their moral compass is set. And instead of trying to change and mold their beliefs and their thoughts and ideas to my own, I just let them do them. And I'm going to do me. I'm going to stay in my lane and do my thing and put out my content. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. They don't have to watch it. That's just a really important thing right there, is to realize that depending on how you were raised, where you were born, your circumstances of your life, and how that shapes and molds your truth. Some people are more traumatized whenever they're younger. I mean, we're very impressionable as children. Something very small can happen to us that can be traumatizing. It doesn't have to be something, big, like you were molested or that you were tortured or whatever, or any of that. It can be something very small. It can be something embarrassing. And really, honestly, whenever we're born, everyone is kind of traumatized. Honestly, like that's the first thing that happens to us whenever we enter this reality. As soon as we come out of our mother's womb, we're instantly traumatized. We're taken away from our mother, for a certain period of time. We're not allowed to stay in our mother's arms, which is very important. That could make that connection with that bond with your mother. And then most people immediately get the tip of their freaking wang chopped off. You're talking about a traumatizing act. There's 2 back-to-back traumatizing things. And then
I saw some research on that the other day that it does leave a little bit of a psychological effect on you, which it's crazy. So it's like the word trauma you just mentioned. I've mentioned it many times. It's got a name of a god in it. AUM. So again, something good can be bad as trauma. You know what I mean? So this realm is so fecked up. You know, we're swimming in a cesspit. For instance, you know, if you spend enough time with me, and likewise, you know, me with you, you pick up traits and mannerisms and opinions similar to yours. It's not being in an echo chamber as such. It's just a frequency. It's a vibe. People talk about it. When you spend enough time with someone, you pick up there. So if you pick up habits and mannerisms and thoughts and ideas, who's to say they're right? Again, one person's war is another person's freedom fight. Again, he's believing he's doing something right and for a just cause, so he's willing to do anything to get that goal. But yeah, that goal could be killing innocent people. He believes in doing something justified, and you know, where does it end? Exactly. Everything seems to have been weaponized.
It really has. And, you know, looking at the desensitized, well, that's not even the right word, desensitization, that might be a word, of humanity, you know, like we would rather whip out our phone and film an event than actually step in and help. You know,
Yeah.
if there's a fight or something, people would rather film it than come in and break it up. I'm pretty sure there was a person that was charged with manslaughter 5 or 6 years ago in the United States for letting a gentleman drowned in a lake, and he filmed it. The individual couldn't swim, and he's like yelling out for help and saying that he couldn't swim, and some dude is just standing there with his phone filming him, watching him drown, and he died, and he got charged with manslaughter for it. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, what is happening? I don't know what's going on, you know, but we've been so desensitized, that's the right word, desensitized, to everything that's happening in our reality, you know. And people don't, I mean, back in the day, you could put your thumb out walking down the road and someone would come through and pick you up and ask you where you were going. But now that 9/11 happened in the United States with all the terrorism stuff, and then before that it was serial killers. Right? People stopped being helpful to each other because of, you know, the perpetuation of serial killers in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then you have the cults, this booming of cult leaders, Jim Jones, the Heaven's Gate people, David Koresh, you know, Waco. You have all this stuff that's happening that's manipulated people and their mind and in their reality to not want to even attempt to come together and be nice to each other anymore.
It's a powerful thing. Like I said, you've had all the people in regard to MK Ultra and all the mind control programs. Why bother mind control? Because it's a brilliant weapon. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't just, it's like I said, you can mind control one person and then it has a cascading effect on other people they've come into contact with. Do you know what I mean? So it is a powerful thing. And we like I said, we do the work for them. You don't have to go around pieces, love, and kissing everyone on and the little things on dong like this and all that crap. No, you know what I mean? We have to have a balance of, you know, light and dark. Do you know what I mean? But we have it. It's been desensitized that much that we're not like human anymore. What makes a human? Empathy, feeling sorry for someone, love. Hey, you know, they're all emotions. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like we're not allowed to have them emotions anymore. We're not allowed to, you know what I mean? And they're trying to bring in all this stuff about binary, non-binary, and all these fucking different genders and shit. And it's like you said, this is happening to young people because they're very impressionable at young ages. But that's what we get trying to mix everything in together in this video. When we're not just talking about truthers, when we're talking about video content and Maru and I did a video today like on spell etymology. It's all like a web, and it all connects. And this nature of, you know what, I don't like this video tonight of Paul and Ryder. You know what, I'm gonna write you two are a bunch of bar stools. Get a fucking life. You know what I mean? Or, you know what, I didn't like that, but you know what, the guys work hard. I'll give them support, give them a thumbs up, and I'll leave it like that. No, I have to tell you how much I hate you. Why? What has triggered you so much that I'm not allowed to have my own opinion on our channel? You know, we invite people to watch it, and the support means a lot. But that's what it just is. It's an opinion. It's thoughts. It's theorizing. It's our opinions in the space of that they can change again. So what is wrong with this? And you know, there used to be a time when you can have a really, really good laugh. And well, like I say to him, the truth's been weaponized. Everything's been weaponized. Food, war, everything. And we're doing the best work and hard work for them. We're doing the battles. They don't have to have gatekeepers and shields because we're creating them. You know, we're creating them within. You know what I mean? If you alienate someone so much, like if I constantly going at you, you're a shield, you're doing this, and you're not doing it. And then once you get to a stage when everyone has a moment, we all do, and gone, and you'll think, fuck it, I'm going to do this. So then you do it, and then go, I told you, he's doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do in this society. We're baiting people. It's like, for instance, in regards to me, the moderators, all I ask is people respect me and the channel. We've all blocked people because we're looking out for your channel. But Paul, I blocked that. I got it wrong. Sorry about that. That cuts everything out. Yeah, I had to take everyone's mod away because I found out I had up to 90 odd people, and I've been made to feel like a villain, that I've done something so wrong. I'm like, what is it coming to? I just want to make content for people to watch and hopefully enjoy, and maybe learn the odd thing and show me some learning within your comments. But no, it's like this. It's trying to pick you and pick away. So when actually, if you do retaliate, there you go. We told you it was that. And that's the scenario with life. Pick at you, you're picking at the scab. Eventually it will bleed. And we have a fight or flight reflex. So we will either fight or we will just walk away. But if we do fight, and then you get called for fighting, so it's like I said, you're in a no-win situation. That's this reality in a nutshell, like we've been talking about. It's like picking at things, and then you react. I just don't get it.
I think the important thing to remember is that the internet, social media, and these platforms aren't real reality. You know, I'm convinced that a lot of these trolls and a lot of the people that put comments like that don't even watch the video.
Yeah.
They don't even listen to what you're saying. They have no idea what you're talking about, right? So their automatic response is to bash it. I had a comment like that on a video that I made, and they were like, asking all the questions and bashing me that was explained in the video. Like if you would have just watched it and listened to it, you're proving to me that you didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
You're proving to me right now that you didn't even listen to it, but yet you still commented, asking me and bashing me for the things and the questions that were answered if you watch the freaking video. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And that's what we really need to realize, is that the internet isn't real reality. It's not. People can hide their identity. People cannot use their real name. They don't even have to have a picture in their profile, like, and I'm sure that some of them are spam and like bots as well, So it's like, that's what I've just, taken a step back from it. And I'm like, hey, like, dude, like, it doesn't really make a difference to me, because, sometimes we forget to actually live in our reality, and we get so consumed with being content creators, that we, forget about that none of it's actually real. It's a digitalized version of reality, and it's a basically fiction.
It's intense, isn't it?
The-
That's what I was mentioning the other day, how you can form relationships so intense, yet you've never met them physically. I mean, it's different. You can hide things online, like you've said. I mean, when you meet someone in public, you can read the body language. You can see the facial expressions more. You know what I mean? It's not filtered by an app, or you know what I mean? It's like it's real. It's in person. So when you meet someone online, for instance, at least we can see, to an extent. But you know what I mean? There's video technology these days that you can actually, make AI and all that faces and things. But would you make this in an AI? You wouldn't. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I'd at least have some hair. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's harder to form. But what I have noticed about online is it is more intense. Everything's more intense, whether it's hate, love, peace, learning. It's more intense and it has a lot of energy because it's been sucked out of us onto the phones, the tablets. That's why I say to people, yeah, you can hate on TVs, but computers, laptops, phones are just as bad.
the
Do you know what I
exact
mean?
same thing. Someone
Exactly.
please make an AI rendering of Paul with dreadlocks. I want to see Paul with dreadlocks down to his nipples.
Someone, I'm not mentioning names, but someone did the other day do some AI. I've just got to find it on my email. Some of them were really good. Some did look like me. I was going to see if I can find it. Oh, it's just, it's just, like I said, that AI art and stuff is coming more into, reality now. But, we just got to,
Yeah, chat GPT, bro.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's just mad. Oh, where's it gone? The loads. This might be it. No, that's not it. Here's one. Here's one. It look AI, and it does. I slightly look. The glasses have a bit of posture on this, but you know what I mean. Look,
Oh yeah, that's
that was
super.
it. But
That's
mine's
super
grey, but
ultra
that's not.
mega. That's a super ultra mega Paul, bro.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the early Paul, and that's cool. Sharing stuff like that, makes me smile. They thought of me in the day. They took time out of the day to make that. I know you can just type it in, but still, it means a lot. But yeah, a lot of people just focus on the negative shit. I just want a good laugh, learn some shit, and go and talk to anyone. I'm not into factions. I'm not into school bullying. I hate bullies. You know what I mean? I hate bullies. You know what I mean? So when people are having beefs and stuff, like we all see it, I don't want to be involved. I want to talk to both sides because, you know what I mean? You're restricting my way of thought because I get not off on it in the sense of, but I like information because people have some good thoughts, some shit thoughts, some pornographic thoughts. But we're all the same in the sense of things that we talk about. But I want to learn. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, when people talk about they want to learn, they want to be a sponge and soak it all up. If we are sponges and you're in a pool of shit, you know what I mean? You're gonna soak up the shit. You're gonna become the shit, and that's what influences us. So you know what I mean? We've been influenced, and hence what are people on YouTube now called influencers because they're influencing society. Don't use this brand. This brand's better. You know what I mean? They are influencers and they influence thoughts. Again, what if I said to you, and many times, we have a duty of care, but people are using their channels to influence others and how we think in this reality. What's wrong with thinking different? We're not doing it anymore.
Before we roll off here, I want to show the people this amazing meme that
Oh
you
yeah,
made.
what I made the other day.
Yes. And what's so interesting about this meme is I instantly seen it spread around as being real.
Yeah.
This was
And people didn't even read my comments, some I've just made.
it's unbelievable, and it's like proof of. Well, first tell people what you did here on this photo of Madonna, so
Yeah,
they can
anyone can
understand it.
put it. It's just I think she was wearing a more revealing top, and obviously because it or whatever it is, but obviously it's off Madonna's own TikTok site. It's just an image I got on Google or search engine, and I thought, what, because she looks like an alien, I'm gonna put the crisp called Space Raiders, and I found Space Raiders have a T-shirt, and I thought, what, I'm gonna put the T-shirt on her, to mimic a face. And it's like people are saying, clone and all this, and getting away from the fact that I've just, funnily enough, put a face of what looks like her above. You know what I mean? It's like, and it sometimes ruins a post, and that's what I posted about last month, and how quickly people can ruin your post. Like whatever you talk about, and it's like something to so off. I'm like, I've just made it just for a laugh to show how its face mask or whatever you want to call it these days looks like an alien. So put Space Raiders on it. So I on an iPad, I just have it's an app, and it's not like you have to do a lot of work in the sense of you have to put the image above it, and then that image back above it, and then you can draw out the image that was above it, so it looks quite realistic. And I saw it go, I've seen people with more shares and likes on it than me. I'm like, fucking hell, that's typical Facebook, that when it gets shared about. But yeah, it's just something funny that I put up that it's gone semi-viral.
But it's so interesting, Paul, that people have taken a photo that you photoshopped and made for being real. They
Yeah.
think that she actually had this shirt on.
Yeah.
And I've seen several posts so far that was like, don't talk to me until I get my adrenochrome, like all this stuff, dude. And it's like unbelievable. And when you think about it like that, you're like, okay, well, if you made this meme and people are taking it as it's real, how many other memes are like that?
Oh, I
How
know.
many
And that's
how
what
many other times have people shared things thinking that it's real when it's actually fake? And it's been
and
created.
I try and show them this all the time. It's like this one, I made this one 4 or 5 years ago, and it went viral. And basically, it was this. If you can see it on your screen.
I do this on the iPad. Please tell me that NASA are capable off budget of 52 million a day.
Now I'll show the image. Now, if you zoom in, and it's a green screen for a film, but I just put the space station on it. And that honestly went super viral as proof that the space station's fake. Now we know it's fake, but that got proof. So they took the meme off or apart. I think at the time I didn't have the ability to write on it. I didn't have an app for it. I just wrote in my post, guys, this is what I've done on the iPad. If I can do this with a cheap app, what are they capable of with their budget? And it went super viral, and people saying, "Look at this! We found proof that the space station's fake." I mean, we know it is, but do you know what I mean? It was like super proof, and I'm like, I've just made that on my iPad, and people took it out of context, and it's like truther channels and things were making videos out of it, and you know what I mean?
It's wild, dude. I don't even know what to say about that, bro. I don't even know what to say because it's unbelievable. I don't understand how that happens, but you've done it several times, and it's crazy how people just cling to this
Yeah,
stuff that
as
and
you
they
know, I did
believe in
the
it and they constantly perpetuate it. And it was like what you were talking about before, that
yeah,
you created a fake CIA document for a
yeah.
friend, and then that turned into be proof that the CIA was investigating Facebook groups. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, dude. Like how
I
much.
want people to realize if you're ever unsure about an image, just type that into your search engine.
Reverse image search, yeah.
And you can check your images. If there's going to be no images of a picture, sometimes that is a suspect, because there should be more than one image of it if it's a document as such. And that's what you can do with AI art. Or what you'll do is you'll find them coming up with Russian sites underneath. It's naturally going to be fake. It's someone making it out. It's not like me doing posts saying, if I could do this on my iPad, they're actually done to manipulate the community, like you know, when you see animals like looking like petrified rock, most of them are fake, and you can quickly find them on Google search. For instance, there's an image going around that of, I don't know if you saw it. Let me see if I can get it on the post. It's of the biggest door in the world, you know, and people talk about giant doors and things.
Yeah.
And people are putting it around in the community that it's real. And for years, I've been showing people, guys, it's fake. It's CGI pieces of door put together by an artist. And I found these articles, but it's doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, we so badly want to know the truth that we ignore everything else. You know what I mean? Why is it being hidden? Oh, it's his story. It's too small lies. And it's like, there's pictures of like looking like the alien on rocks and stuff. And it's like, for fuck's sake, people, it's fucking obviously CGI, or now it's even worse, AI art, where it is basically near enough light flight shit that you can put into images. And it's getting a lot harder to us talking and doing these topics. Don't you think? It's
Absolutely. It has muddied the waters to a degree that I don't know if we can bounce back from. You know, all this AI art, all these fake images, all the people perpetuating a fake meme, you know, and sharing it out as if it's real. It's wild, dude. It's
I mean,
wild.
let me see if I can get one before you go, because I know you got run off. But you had, remember the Denver airport,
Yeah.
and you had the famous mural, and I'll show you now on screen. And that was a mural.
Yeah.
And people are going around, oh, that's been posted years ago, and it's showing you what happened. It's like The Simpsons. They're telling you it's all the plain truth. And I had to tell people, yeah, but it's painted by this dude, and it's not in the airport. And I had people who lived in Denver telling me, blatantly lying, I've been to the airport and I've saw it. I said, go and reverse image search. It tells you what's happened. And the guy made it. You know, you can go to the comments on his fucking Facebook page and read it. He's made the mural. He's not at the airport, and people will lie because they've invested so much in their post being, this is at Denver airport, and look, they're showing you all this shit, and it's years before it happened. And here comes me, not like, you know, posting on my own page, say, listen, it's not, this is it. And I do that a lot. I don't get, and people don't like me for it. But I'm not like ruining your day. I'm just doing a bit of research to see if these things turn out to be true. That's more intriguing, because bloody hell, it's true. But we've all been done once or twice. You know what I mean? I've told you before, I've been done once or twice, but I learned. Posting shit. What's wrong with saying, guys, I got it wrong? So, you know, I've been fooled.
Yeah.
And they don't want to. So what they do then is turn to you and do the usual thing. You're a shill, you're a gatekeeper, and blah, blah, you're lying. It's not. It's, go and have a look.
They don't want to take responsibility. It's so unbelievable.
You know how quick stuff gets viral. I mean, that meme I made of Freddy Krueger and Bill Gates, celebrities were posting it. I didn't come up with the idea. I did a meme before that, and a guy posted a comment saying, Paul, you know, is an idea for you. You know what I mean? And I, you know, and that's how that came about. And everyone's posted. I saw it on YouTube. Who made this? You know, it's like, you know, it's just one of those things. And we're in this society, everything is quick, and we don't want to research it. because we trust people's, oh, well, you automatically think this, don't you? And I've done it. They're a good researcher. They've got to research this. It's got to be real. And then you go, bang, sure, bang. And then you're like making video content on it. And you're like, oh. And then you find out it's wrong. And it's like, because you've trusted. People are in a fast-paced society, and they trust the person before them, and so on and so on. And that's what happens. These get classed as truth or a belief, what like you're talking about, and it gets passed on.
It's unbelievable, Paul. Thanks for speaking with me this evening, my friend. Appreciate you a lot. It was a wonderful conversation. I hope everyone really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and let people know where they can find you, brother.
You can find me. I'll tell you, I'll whisper. I'm not easily, always laughing with me and Ryder because I am hard to get a hold of. But you can find me on social media, Twitter, What the Flock TV, capital T for the TV. What the Flock TV is normal on Instagram, and I have a What the Flock TV on Odyssey now, and obviously What the Flock TV on YouTube. For how long? Who knows? Because the way they're clamping down. But there you go, guys. That's how you can get in touch with me. And obviously, Ryder's going to tell you all his jizzy addresses. He has them all nice and done. Where can he find you?
On YouTube at Raised by Giants, Rockfin Raised by Giants, and all the other podcast platforms. Instagram at Raised by Giants Pod, and Twitter at Raised by Giants 8.
It's fucking everywhere, isn't it? It's like, where can we find you, Paul? Nowhere. And then I'm saying, why people not following me? Because you're not anywhere. That's why, you idiot. But it's so funny. What have you got coming up? Anyone good people can look forward to?
Yes, I have Emma Goodwin coming up soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to post it yet. I'm trying to, I think I'm going to cut back on the amount of videos that I'm doing a week. I've been doing like 2 a week now for over a year.
I'm telling you for weeks. Slow it down, do 1 a week.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start going back to just 1 a week. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that 1 a week, if it's going to be on Tuesdays or Fridays. I don't know. I'll probably do a poll on my YouTube and ask the viewers, what day would be better for them, because just 2 a week just is rough, dude. It's hard. And I don't know how some people do it. Some people are doing shows like every day, dude. I'm like, you all are wild. You all are crazy. I could never.
Stamina to burn, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing the most. They're definitely doing the most. So, but I have your friend Emma Goodwin that you put me in contact with. Her video will be releasing sometime next week. It was a really good chat.
Watching it.
Yeah, but
it's going to be a good one. And I've got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing from tomorrow to the next day. I don't even know what topic's going to be next. If I'm going to finish off a series, or I'm going to do something. I might do something on the moon. I don't know, or more spells. I just go with the flow. I've just learned to let it come to me, and hopefully you can get a nice set pattern of when you do. Because, like I said, if you build up 4 or 5 interviews, you could have like a week off or something sometimes, or do something. It's hard work. It really is so hard work on social media. People don't understand what you're putting into it, how draining it is, and that's why sometimes we do get sometimes a bit short with people, or passionate, because we put a lot of effort into it. For what? You know what I mean? So people, just please check out and give Ryder the support, give me the support. Obviously you're here because you've watched either one of us, and enjoy it for what it is. It's just one guy and it or them or he, whatever your society said. Now 2 guys just talking about shit that they've happened in the week, upcoming videos or past videos and content. It's what it is. It's just very informal, but it's really intriguing to see a different perspective. And we've been quite deep tonight, and that's, people should be proud that you can just go to someone and it's real for being on an unreal platform. I know we just said it's unreal, but you know what I mean? You can't get any more natural than just us sitting here just winging it, and you know what I mean? And we do the odd thing. So enjoy it, guys. Thank you for the ride. Thank you for having Ryder and us in your life this evening or morning or evening when he posts this. It's been a blast.
It has. Thanks so much, Paul. Appreciate you a lot, brother. Always an honor and a privilege to speak with you. And we'll see you guys next time. And watch out for that 11, bro. Don't let that 11 get you, dude. It's following you,
chasing you.
stalking you. It'll get you. Watch out.